Hi guys, welcome to Daddy and the Don. It's Crystal Palace vs Newcastle preview time. Two guests today. Of course, you know the first one is my co-host, the Daddy. But before I get to him, I'm going to be talking to the Bear. Of course, he's our resident Newcastle pundit. So Bear, thanks for coming back on. Firstly, before I ask you about the upcoming game, just your thoughts on the last game, the 3-2 defeat at home to Tottenham. Any positives or was it just full of negatives?
Yeah, hey Graham. Looking back at Spurs v Newcastle, the only real positive that I can take from it, even though I've not watched any of the highlights yet, but from what I've seen on Facebook and other social media, is I see the only positive is Wilson's back and scoring again. I mean, all you got to do is look at the stats. I mean, we're home, 36% possession throughout the whole game, only one shot on target is absolutely shocking. I mean, we're not playing with a lot of confidence. Seems like looking at the stats and whatnot, that Spurs basically controlled nearly the whole game. Controlled us. You'd probably look at them stats and think they were the home team, not Newcastle.
Can't talk about Newcastle without talking about your manager, Steve Bruce. Obviously, a couple of questions on this one. Obviously, do you expect him to be the manager for the next game, or do you think he'll be sacked? If he's still in the job, how long do you think he will have? Do you expect him to be gone before January, regardless if he's in charge for the next game?
And I did see some reports that apparently the new owners are going to give Bruce 6 games before they make any decisions. But, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets sacked before the Palace game, but I also wouldn't be surprised if he's still in charge for the Palace game. In my opinion, I reckon Bruce has probably done as much as he can. Yes, we all know about the financial situations he's had to face and deal with, and some players probably might think, give Bruce a chance with money, but at the end of the day, he can't bring anyone in until January. The results and performances are speaking for themselves, so if I'm honest, I probably think it's time for Brucey to go.
So obviously Crystal Palace away next. I think that's a tricky away game. Do you agree? But at the same time, is there a possibility you lot can maybe steal a win in this game?
I think it could be quite a tricky game for us, actually. Palace seem to be doing all right. They're finally getting gelled with all the new players that Vieira's brought in. And to be fair, Crystal Palace on the day can give anyone a good game and beat anyone on the day. It will be tricky. They're probably going to be playing more confidence than what we are. The team, Newcastle's down a little bit at the minute. So yeah, I think it could be quite a tricky game. But if we play how we can play, and St. Maximum and Wilson and Willock have a good day, I think we could actually pinch 3 points.
So where do you reckon the key battle is in this game? And what player in particular do Newcastle need to keep quiet if you've got any chance of getting points from this game?
There's no denying that the player we probably got to keep quiet the most is Zaha. On his day, he can create chances, create something out of nothing, can change the game. In some ways, he's their version of our St. Maximum. Both can create out of nothing. Both are dangerous players. But even that Billy Gilmore, even he showed how solid he was against England in the Euros. He can have a decent game. So I reckon the key battle is going to be in midfield, to try and dominate and control the game. Whether our midfield can match that, especially now Shelby got red card in against the Spurs game, I think we'll just have to see.
So, the Bear, how do you see this game going? Is it going to be a cagey affair, or do you think it'll be a game where you play the same sort of football you've been playing all season?
I think Palace probably might play quite an open style because they'll probably see Newcastle having low confidence and will want to go for it, try and grab a few early goals, it's quick in the game, kill the game off in some ways. I reckon Newcastle might be a bit cautious at first. Just get the feel of the tempo of the game, then try and stamp our authority or try and make plays. If we get a goal quite quick like we did against Spurs, then we need to capitalise on it, not like do what we have done before under Steve Bruce, is get a goal and sit back. If we get a goal, we need to go for 2 or 3. I reckon to begin with it could be quite a tight game, but I think after about 20-25 minutes, I reckon it could get quite open. But obviously, Palace being at home, I reckon they'll want to go probably out for the kill straight away against us.
And finally, give me a score prediction. What do you think the score will be?
For my prediction, I'm going to be quite optimistic. Be faithful to my Newcastle, and I will say we will pinch a 2-1 win.
So, Phil, last time out, a 2-2 draw against Arsenal away. On paper, you would have probably took someone's hand off for it and been happy. But actually, you should have won. Last kick of the game goal for Arsenal. What is your thoughts? Are you disappointed, or do you take the positives from that performance and the result?
Yeah, hi Graham. Arsenal game. As you know, I predicted a 2-2 draw, so obviously got that one right. So I would have taken that all day long before the game. But like you said, and like we've said off air, that was 3 points really in the bag there, and thrown away in the last minute. So 2 points dropped, in my opinion. I think we dominated that game, conceded an early goal, conceded a late goal, did everything else in between perfectly. One thing I will say though is Pat went too defensive. Last 15, 20 minutes, sat too deep, invited pressure on. Warning signs were there when Tierney hit the bar, didn't take action to it, invited it on, was really asking for it, to be honest with you. But apart from that, can take the positives. We played well. We didn't have Zaha as well, so did well without him as well, which is normally not the case. So, yeah, moving on, I think take the positives, but disappointed to drop the points yet again, like in the Brighton game.
So, Newcastle next, down the bottom of the table, still winless. Are they going to cause you any problems? And just following on from that, are they going to have Steve Bruce in the dugout for this game, or will he be gone by then?
So Newcastle, yeah, on paper, it's a game you should be targeting 3 points for sure. As you've said, they're winless. They haven't really done anything away from home either. We've been very good at home. Our only 2 losses came away to Chelsea and away to Liverpool. At home, we've been fairly solid. But having said that, these are the sort of games where we tend to come unstuck. Like in the past, it's normally sort of like the mid-table to relegation candidates that we struggle against and then have to pull results out of the bag against like stronger teams. So we should be targeting a win, but I wouldn't be surprised if we found it trickier than normal. But then if it was Roy, that would be the case. Obviously Patrick plays a different brand of football slightly, so have to see. Hopefully we're going to change the story on these games.
One player I think that you will have to keep on tabs is Maximin. Do you agree with that? Or do you think there's other players that can cause you problems?
Yeah, to be honest, in like a struggling team, he is their standout player. He's their sort of like talisman, so to speak. He's their live wire. So he needs to be focused on. But we shouldn't just concentrate on him because there are other players that are capable in that team. So if we target him and Callum Wilson's left unmarked, he's going to finish if he gets one-on-one with goalie. So can't ignore him either.
Listen, a quick question on a certain player. Has MacArthur got Patrick Vieira's nudes? Because why is he still starting in this league? And why is he starting with the new signing sitting on the bench? Please answer it for me so I can get my head around it.
Yeah, personally, I'd rather play Koyate in there. But I'm guessing he must have seen something that's making him go with this lineup, because obviously Luca was injured at the start of the season, so he went with MacArthur, Gallagher and Koyate as the central of the 3. So all he's done is put Luca back into his place and let the other 2 carry on playing. So I can only assume, because we've only lost to like Chelsea and Liverpool, and the other games we've been okay, maybe he's just letting those players play until he needs to change it. But personally, I'd go for Koyate, but he's sticking with that team for now.
How vital is it that Sahar is back for this game and in the starting lineup? Because if he plays at his best ability, then surely he will be Newcastle's downfall. And also, is there anyone else that you'd like to single out that can win this game for you if they play at their best ability?
So it's obviously well publicised in the past that when there's no Zaha, we don't tend to perform. I think a few years ago there was like we hadn't got a single point without him on the pitch when he was injured. So obviously that's something that I think's got better with time. But again, we're always going to be better on the with him on the pitch than him off the pitch. So I wouldn't say vital that he played, because obviously we played well against Arsenal without him, but it does bring a better chance for us to win that game. But then, in his absence, I think if Michael Elise played out there, he could cause some trouble as well. And obviously, looking at players that can make a difference, and sort of these are the games where you look for someone like Conor Gallagher to dominate the middle of the park and prove his worth with his box-to-box ability. So yeah, I'll be looking at Conor Gallagher and Michael Elise in Zaha's absence.
All right, Phil, thanks for coming on. What is your score prediction for this game?
So as I touched upon before, we have struggled with these sort of fixtures in the past. But again, it's a new manager now, so hopefully it's going to be a change of fortune. So I'm going to go with a 2-1 Palace win on this one.
Okay, thank you, The Bear, and obviously thanks, Phil, for your views and predictions this weekend, Palace versus Newcastle. Anyway, that's it for now, guys. We'll see you soon.